What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Edge of Greatness, episode 455. Welcome, listeners on the podcast as well. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not, it's your own fault. And let's go make it a great day. I'm gonna send this space out to some uh, chats because sometimes the job of the space host is to get the speakers in here. So let's do that. I'm gonna send that in the Hyperflow community. Bonk live. We're gonna talk about some very interesting things today. Today is also packed with stuff, just like yesterday. And not every single space is like that, but sometimes it's productivity mode, and then there is nothing more than doing productive things, which is what I've fallen into now. Again, I always do. I never left. I entered and then I never left. I entered like, what year is it now? 2020, 2026 is it now? Yeah, I started in 2024. But it really started at the beginning of our lives. You know, your entire journey started at the beginning of your life. Your business journey didn't start last year or last month. It started at the beginning of your life. Then from there on, you started to learn. That's what business is, because this learning, if the circuits in the brain is complete, you will execute on them and grow wealthy effortlessly without your having to force anything to happen at all. Weird, right? That's the book we're gonna look into today. We're going back to the roots today, Doc. We're going back to the roots, the seven spiritual laws of success, and Stu mentioned earlier. The or was it me that started to talk about it? I don't remember who started to talk about it, but it was the symbols. And I see Stu in here as well. Shout out to brother Stu. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Shout out to brother Jay and Tag and Labson and Pablo. This is a podcast episode, so I'm very strict with who I'm bringing up on stage today. I hope you guys are fine with that too, because yeah, people are gonna listen to this. Uh, Not really, but I gotta do it until people do. So yeah, that's how you gotta do it. You guys are like, loser. And I'm like, fuck off. I'm gonna send this to some Discord chats now. And in the meanwhile, I wanna welcome Brother Doc to the stage. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, you kind of have to curate your stage a little bit, especially if you want to be taken seriously. I know some people will get cranky over it, but they're going to have to get cranky because they'll respect you more for setting boundaries and holding true to who you are. So, uh, did you already send it to our Discord? Because if you did, I'm not going to, but I'm going to try to share it into the group chats. Everybody just pulled up. Please make sure you drop a comment, repost the space, all that fun stuff. You know what to do here. You've been on X before, but now you're on another
Have they?
platform because this is going to be podcasted. So behave.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I'm just mentioning it like awareness is the key to everything, right? So I'm just mentioning it, and you know, it's still a space. Like, and the ones that are listening on the podcast now on YouTube or Spotify, they're like, "What do you mean space? What space? We're not in space. This it's space and a podcast is the same thing. So just yeah, what should we call this? I'm gonna call this podcast from now on. It's not even a space. Elon is trying to invent the wheel all over again. That's what everyone does, you know. But let's say greetings to brother Stu. What's up, Stu? How are you, sir?
It's good to see you, brother Ed, man. I am here to get educated by you and see what you got going on. Shout out, my brother Edge and my brother Doc.
That's awesome, bro. I'm here to be educated by everyone. It sounds like I'm not, I'm not telling people stuff either. I'm trying to put in that here and there. I'm trying to, sneak in that I'm not telling anyone anything. I'm actually a full believer of that no one else exists because, well, we know is what we project. So you guys are in my video game now, and I'm in Doc's video game, and I'm in Stu's video game, and we don't view things at all the same way. It's completely different from all of us. J2, Digital X, Tag, Labson, Pablo, Lisa Bailey, all of us, none of us views things the same way, which is absolutely beautiful, but also frightening, you know. But it's like, yeah, some perspectives are not very comfortable. I love those the most. We have brother Jay on stage too. How are you today, sir? Are you available?
I am. I'm leaving the ATM. Hope we had a good time. Cashing out.
Wait, you're
I am
doing well?
available. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Great. Web3 is keeping me financially above water. Um, Never thought I'd say that out loud in a bear market, but
Wow, that's cool.
yeah. I mean, it's not in the way of like trading crypto because I'm not really a trader. Which I got to link up with Lavanda and Doc for sure. But I know I've been saying that for a while. But as far as like providing services, doing what I do best, that's how I've been my head above water in that sense. If that makes sense. So
Yeah, that makes so much sense. That's the
hosting
way, like
spaces,
literally.
in case no one knows. Yeah, hosting spaces
Yeah, bro.
and consulting has been more so consulting than hosting spaces to be honest. But they're both good.
That's awesome. Consulting too. I want to hear more about that, but not right now. But I love that that's working out for you very well, bro. And I just see that I'm sure you're expressing things the way you want to, and you're not doing things like everyone else does. That's the signals I'm getting. And the first thing we get exposed to in this space is trading, which is really gambling. But the thing is, nature has another solution to everything, and this is not really just an isolated space. We can bring these universal laws in here as well, and grow effortlessly with nature from who we are. Like nature doesn't like. Okay, that's actually what we're gonna read about first. So let's go to that topic straight away then. Um, Let me just go there first. There we go. Uh, yeah, as I said, Doc, we're going back to the roots today. And we're going back to the seven spiritual laws of success, which we read a lot in the beginning when I started this space, and even Regal in that space too, and in your early spaces. Like I read it sometimes. I wish I could read the entire book, but it is a couple of pages. It's not many, not at all. And it's even shorter what I'm about to read, obviously, but this speaks to hearts. So I ask you guys to be open minded. In the beginning, there was desire, which was the first seed of mind. You know, your desire, not anyone else's. As soon as we put too much time on someone else's, in someone else's business, um, they own us. We are theirs to harvest. You know, if we're gonna take it to the extreme, and we don't want to be there. We want to express our own things, just like Jay does. So find your own thing, do those things, and listen to what the wind tells you. I was about to say what God tells you, and yeah, that takes work to listen to hear. But in the beginning, there was desire, which was the first seed of mind. So the desire is important, and the ego is also important. But I think we're gonna touch on that too. The law of intention and desire says that our intentions and desires, when released in the field of pure potentiality, have infinite organizing power. Just by introducing an intention in the fertile ground of pure potentiality, we activate this field and put its infinite organizing power to work for us effortlessly. all you need to do is introduce the intentions. Like, this is what I'm saying in my way sometimes, that the only thing we need to do is feed the right information in our brains, and we will automatically do the thing, because that's all we know eventually. If that's the only thing that we feed our brain, we become obsessed. So that would be the only thing that is circulating in our brain. Perhaps you've been sucked into a project in crypto here before, and that's the only thing you think about all day. You could do that too, but with your things. But it takes more discipline, and yeah, it takes more discipline in the beginning. But that's in the beginning. When you've built up this desire and it starts to spin by itself in your head, then it will become more effortless. And I think we're gonna touch on that too here very soon. Yeah, this isn't a mystical notion. You know, every time we have a desire to walk or lift our arms, our intention incites millions of chemical reactions and electrical impulses that obey fixed laws of nature. The fifth spiritual law, which is the law of intention and desire, the one we're reading about now, says that inherent in every desire are the mechanics for its fulfillment. And these mechanics apply to desires reaching far beyond the physical body. Energy and information exist everywhere in nature. At the level of pure consciousness, there is nothing other than energy and information. This means there are no well defined edges between our physical body and our extended body, the universe. We can consciously change the energy and information of our own body and influence the energy and information of our extended body, our environment, and cause things to manifest in it. This change is brought about by two qualities inherent in consciousness: attention and intention. Attention and intention. Whatever we put our attention on, hear me out, guys. Whatever we put our attention on consistently grows stronger in our life. Whatever we take our attention away from withers and disappears, sometimes forever. Intention triggers the transformation of energy and information and organizes its own fulfillment. The quality of intention on the object of attention orchestrates an infinity of details to bring about the intended outcome. And I have to read that one again, because don't let this go over your head. The quality of your intention for the future, your vision, the quality of that you've contemplated, perhaps you're even obsessed with it, you're contemplating on it every single day, you even have a routine to do your things in your business. The quality of your intention, you take that vision, and in the moment when you're gonna work, the quality of that, the stronger it is, and you put that on the object of attention, the object that you're gonna work on right then and there, orchestrates an infinity of details by itself. It's the intuitive part. You don't need to control everything. You know, what they're saying is go to your computer, sit down until the idea comes to you to do the thing. Because you know that over there, that usually happens. It's a game of probabilities, right? So I'm going to go over there until the cyclical in the universe operates, you know, the cyclical things comes back all the time. So when you are in the right environment, those cyclical things will come back, and you know it. So it's a game of probabilities. Or you're gonna get something done. You don't have to force yourself to do anything. You just need to become the person that enjoys doing the things, and the person that enjoys doing the difficult things, the work task that we're talking about now that needs to get done. You know exactly how you're gonna do it the most effortless way possible. Isn't that enjoyable? You know, and that's the fixed laws of nature that we're reading about now. So knowledge is the key. You know, who would have thought? This is the Edge of Greatness, and we're gonna continue reading this thing. We see the expression of this organizing power in every blade of grass, even in every flower, in everything that is alive. Now, we don't know if the flower or the tree or the grass feels things and feels this hell that we do. We actually don't know that. But at the same time, I don't care, because if we go in that direction again, we're gonna forget everything. So nothing is real. In the scheme of nature, everything is connected and correlated with everything else. The groundhog comes out of the earth, and we know it's going to be spring. Birds begin to migrate in a certain direction at a certain time of the year, every single year. It's cyclical above and below as well. Nature is a symphony that is silently orchestrated at the ultimate ground of creation. And as they mention further on in this book, they mention the word universe, which means one song. And all of this points towards frequency. As long as we do not violate the other laws of nature, we can use conscious intent to literally command the powers of nature to fulfill our dreams and desires violently. Intention is the real power behind desire, because it is desire without attachment to the outcome. Desire in most people is attention with attachment to the outcome. But when we combine intention with detachment, our intent is for the future, while our attention is in the present. You know, present moment awareness is powerful because the future is created by our actions in the present. We cannot take action in the past or in the future. Past and future are born in the imagination. Only the present, which is awareness, is real and eternal. If we practice present moment awareness, then the imaginary obstacles, which are more than 90% of the obstacles, disappear. Which is the same thing as saying, even here, let's take crypto Twitter for example, 99% of everything is noise. Don't care about anything. Build your own thing. That's the only thing that is real, I swear. But sometimes you gotta go on your own pilgrim's journey in order to figure this shit out. And it took me a year to do that. Here I am. I ended up in the same place I started with nothing, and my own brand. So, I mean, my brand is amplified massively, but it's going to continue to as well, but now without distractions. Now without distractions. The remaining obstacles, you know, can be transformed into opportunities through one pointed intention. The remaining obstacles of what? Let's read that again so that we follow along. If we practice present moment awareness, then the imaginary obstacles, which are more than 90% of the obstacles, disappear. And when they have disappeared, the remaining obstacles, I suppose that's what they're meaning, can be transformed into opportunities to one pointed intention. Whatever. The awareness of that most things are BS is enough to know. This means holding our attention to the intended outcome with such unbending purpose that we refuse to allow obstacles to consume our attention or to dissipate the focused quality of our attention. This is the power of focused intention and detachment simultaneously. And this, guys, is why I haven't been in Discord the past couple of days, because this is exact thing I've been practicing. To talk about myself a little bit, that's what I can do because that's the only thing I know. Because usually I'm in the Discord, we're having good talks and stuff. It's very beneficial, usually. But when you really want to be there, but you know that you feel more fulfilled doing work, let's say a podcast, you record things, you build up a library of stuff to post in the future, whatever the work might be, if you're a content creator or whatever you're doing, Uh, it can be like that if you want to. You can force yourself to do it in that way. You're forcing yourself effortlessly. Because detachment is involved. You're not attached to anything. You're detached, and you're not letting anything just consume your attention, because you know that 90% of everything is noise to that calling that you're feeling. But if you hear that calling, I think you're doing a very good job, because it only requires to be still to really hear that thing. And to become still in the first place requires work too, which is the spirituality. But that's another topic of conversation. Let's finish off this chapter. How can you harness the power of intention to fulfill your dreams and desires? You get result. You can get results through effort, but if you follow these 5 steps in the law of intention and desire, your intention will generate its own power effortlessly. So this is the intention, right? Your vision. You see something in the future. Number 1, center yourself in a silent space between thoughts, in the essential state of being. That doesn't sound very difficult. Number 2, release your intentions and desires with the expectation that they will bloom when the season is right, when it's time to harvest. We can't stand by the soil and curse at it and expect it to give fruit. We gotta carefully supervise the soil and water the soil day in and day out, find our pattern. Oh, that didn't work. This worked. And then when the time is right, it will blossom. It has to, if the consistency is there for long enough. Most people quit right before their breakthrough, by the way, which is not something I'm gonna experience myself ever. I swear, I'm not letting that happen. I'm too afraid of that. I'm choosing to be afraid of that because that's a good fear. The fear of being lazy, sometimes I say. But yeah, number 3, keep your desires to yourself. Do not share them with anyone else unless they are closely bonded with you. Your inner circle can hear the stuff, but the people that, I'm gonna use plain words here, the people that doesn't have their manifestation process in their brain figured out yet, they don't know what they're saying. They don't know enough. So forgive them, for they do not know. And then move on. That's really how I look at it. And I think that's standing all over the Bible too. So if you want to argue against this, read the Bible first. Number 4, I haven't even read the Bible. I just ordered it though. I'm going to read it. But I know that it's standing in there because I have other books referencing it. Number 4, relinquish your attachment to the outcome. And number 5, let the universe handle the details. This process doesn't sound very, it doesn't require much effort from your side, you know. But remember, your true nature is one of pure potentiality. You don't need to look at yourself through the eyes of the world or allow yourself to be influenced by the opinions of others. Remain established in the awareness of your true self. Carry the awareness of your spirit wherever you go. Gently release your desires, and the universe will orchestrate all of the details for you. All of them. Can you still write things down? Absolutely. But for the purpose of clearing your mind. Do you have to execute those things? I don't know. The purpose is to clear your mind and be still. So that's really up to you to do what you will with that information. Because the least resistance will be in your brain if you're still, just accepting, surrendering to the moment. Final part, to experience the law of intention and desire. Make a list of your intentions and desires and look at this list before you go into silence, before you go to sleep at night, and when you wake up in the morning. Release your desires to the field of pure potentiality. trusting it to handle all the details for you. Know that when things don't seem to go your way, there is a reason. There is a reason. Always a reason. Practice present moment awareness in all your actions. Refuse to allow obstacles to consume your attention in the present moment. It's as simple as that. And now I'm finished. I want to go straight to the hands. I don't know who was first. You guys get to decide.
It was Stu. Go ahead, Stu.
All right. Kind of, it might have been a little bit a while ago, but you said something about attention as power. And I was thinking on why that matters. Something's making you feel bad or like something you don't particularly want to participate in. Like if it feels like a forced event, like you have no interest in partaking in it, strip it of its power. Your attention should not be granted. Yeah, that's all.
That's G. Let's go. Shout out to that. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, nothing has to be said to that. That was extremely clear.
Yeah, I like that. All right, mine goes back, I think, even a little further than that, but it took me a minute before I realized I wanted to talk about it. You said something about I don't know what you said exactly, but it made me think of the importance of not worrying about the other steps in your plan. Like when you're in the middle of doing something, that is being present in the moment is the most important thing. And that's where like your faith comes in, whether you believe it's going to be God, the universe, whatever word makes you comfortable. Having faith that doing the things that you know you should do is good enough to receive the promise. And again, I'm a Christian, so it's the promise of God. Like if you behave in a certain way, you receive the promise of God. So you don't do it. It's not like a give to get situation, but it is a behavioral set of being in the moment. Because if you're not in the moment, you're now putting your focus on something and saying you don't trust the universe to handle it, or you don't trust God to handle it, and now you're moving worrisome instead of being diligent in your discipline to do the works that you need to do. Because it's more important that you do that than worry about the things that you don't have any control over. There are things that could happen tomorrow or somebody else can handle. And as long as you're focused on that, there's more of a chance that God will send somebody to cover those other responsibilities, or somehow those things work out because of your devotion to your task. Does that make sense? I feel like that made sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, it does. It does make sense. Makes a lot of sense. And now I forgot what I was gonna say to that. I had to do my host job and kick someone down that I accidentally let up because I don't want really that type of interruption today. But yeah, so I self-sabotage there a little bit. Let's go.
I don't know if Stu had another point or if his hand is stuck in the air, but I see his hands up.
Really? No, it's down.
Just
Yep.
kidding.
It's down, but we have Mr. Casket up on stage now. I want to say hi to Mr. Casket before we go to the real topic of this space today. That was just the intro.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, I'm here to listen, man. I'm here to listen. I ain't got much to say. I did want to come up and show support. By the way, yeah, I'm working on something in the background here, but yeah, I told. I'm a bit disappointed, man. Where are they? I told a bunch of people if you want to get educated, hop over here. I did see V pulling up. That's good to see. Shout out to you, V. But yeah, let's get it, man. I'm ready. I kind of missed the beginning of that topic, but we're switching topic anyway. So I'll be in the background doing my prayer, but I'm here to listen, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that a lot that you told some people that they were going to be here, but at the same time, it's impossible to tell people things unless you have influence, because then the ones that are hearing the information, they're like, oh, I might get something massive out of this. That's what they're thinking. They don't think that with you. They don't think that with me. They don't think that with Doc yet, with Stu yet, with Fab yet, with V yet. Like, You gotta have massive influence over an entire industry for people to listen like that. I just had to say that because I'm not telling you this either. I'm just talking to myself. This is my standards. What's up, Stu?
I was gonna say, yeah, you should practice levying no expectations, and the people who should be there will come.
Yeah, completely.
That goes back to kind of what I was trying to say about the like, as long as you're doing the thing you should do, the universe will take care of the rest. If you're putting your, if you're putting any of your story on somebody else's, like, like if your story is contingent on what they do, you're out of alignment. You know what I mean? You should be doing what you do, and if they don't show up, something else will. Like, and that's why I make sure I start my space every morning. Even if I know Stu can't be there, I don't know if Mello's going to show up. Usually somebody does because I made sure I had the effort of starting the space and did those things. Even if I'm complaining for the first 5 minutes, like, come on, somebody come talk to me. Shout out V. Usually always one of the first people in the room. I like things like that. Just so you know, simple shit like that does not go unnoticed. And that's how, like, anybody who's running a project finds out who's an actual supporter, who actually likes what you're doing. Because I don't know, man. Shout out to Dundies in general. That's a community of people. Shit, King Boo Boo just pulled up. Shout out King Boo Boo for introducing me to the Dundies. Like, you'll notice that your vibe attracts your tribe thing's real, man. As long as you are acting authentically and doing the things you should do, God, the universe, Allah, whatever word makes you comfortable, will make sure things work out for you. But you have to operate in the faith that that is right. That working on yourself is the right thing to do.
Are you
Yeah.
accepting any spaghetti monster believers?
I kind of think that one is feasible if you follow too much science. So yeah, why not? Why not? Who says we couldn't have been seeded by an alien flinging spaghetti sperm at a planet that just happened to grow here? I don't see why not. I'm not gonna say it makes sense to me, but if you believe that, I'm not gonna say you're completely retarded. I believe a guy died for my sins, and that's how I get to go to heaven. And just because I said that out loud is my backdoor entrance. But not really.
Inherent in your desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. If you can think it,
Man, where did you hear that?
it's there. I just read it. I mean,
Oh,
it was in the book, the chapter we read. Yeah.
That's a great fucking sentence. Was I really not paying attention that hard? Because I feel like that sentence that would have resonated.
Yeah, I write that down as a draft. I did that too. I was like, oh, I have to draft this. No. Inherent in every desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. That's a good one. But yo, bro, that's very good takes. Appreciate you guys for exercising the brain a little bit there. That's good. Shout out to King Boo Boo for being in the space too. I love the name, you know, Boo Boo. That's G. Shout out to V. That rhymed. Let's go. This is not a rap show, I swear. Let's go to the real topic for today, the law of detachment. We were talking about the symbols and stuff. I think they talk about the symbols in this chapter, which is something not very sure of now. Was that the chapter we just read? Did I say symbols in that chapter? Yeah, I think I did. No, it is in this chapter. Yeah. So the law of detachment, ladies and gentlemen, this is a superpower. Sharpen your ears, I was about to say. What does that help? I don't know. Don't have earplugs in your ears so you don't hear anything. I'm weird now. Let's begin. The ego and the self dwell in the same body. The former, the ego, eats the sweet and sour fruits of the tree of life, while the latter, the self, looks on in detachment. So you can achieve things with forcing it to happen, but you can also achieve the same things with effortlessness, basically. Using the self, like your true self, authenticity, the highest frequency. Hello. The sixth law, the sixth spiritual law of success, the law of detachment, says that the way to acquire anything in the universe is to relinquish our attachment to it. This doesn't mean we give up the intention to create our desire. We don't give up the intention. and we don't give up the desire. You know, we give up our attachment to the outcome. So, whatever is happening in the future, which we can't see, most people are attached to. When we give up that, we become so much more free to create. The moment we combine one pointed intention with the detachment to the outcome, we will have that which we desire. Beautiful. Anything we want can be acquired through detachment, because detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of the self. The source of wealth or of anything in the physical world is the self, the field of pure potentiality that knows how to manifest everything. All we need to do is nurture our deepest intentions in our heart and go with the flow. You know, that's what I think yesterday's topic was about a little bit too, the speeding up of society. We can feel that everything is speeding up, right? So, what could be a solution to this? Let's look at the path of least resistance, for example. If everything is speeding up, we feel things are speeding up. Like those who know, they know. Let's look at the path of least resistance in our brain. What is our intention telling us to do? What if the way is to study and develop the subconscious mind so that our impulse actions become more high quality than they were before? What if that's the solution? I'm just saying, I'm just here now and saying these things, and these things can be done things with too, if you so wish. I'm not telling anyone anything. I'm just providing information that has worked for me so far. So, detachment comes from an inner knowingness that we are a pattern of behavior of a higher intelligence. God. Doesn't say God in here, but I'm saying it. When things don't seem to go our way, we let go of our idea of how things should be. We know that in our limited awareness, we cannot see the synchronistic, harmonious patterns of the universe of which we and our intentions are a part. You know, attachment, on the other hand, implies doubt and distrust in nature's intelligence and its infinite organizing power. Attachment to the mellow, no, attachment is the melodrama of the ego because it is based on fear and insecurity. And this comes from not realizing the power of the self. Those who seek security chase it for a lifetime without ever finding it, because security can never come from material wealth alone. People say, when I have $1 million, then I will be financially independent and then I will be secure. But it never happens, ever. Attachment to money and security only creates insecurity, no matter how much money we have in the bank. Because it's just things. Attachment. Okay, here we go, guys. Symbol time. This is the topic of this space. Symbols. This is another attack angle than the one we talked about in the Discord earlier. But attachment, your attachment to the symbols of wealth, cars, houses, banknotes, creates anxiety because the symbols are transitory, they come and go. When we exchange ourself for the symbols of ourself, we end up feeling empty inside. So all the symbols that is created everywhere, your personal brands are symbols, that we can gather attention around. And with enough attention on your symbol that you've created, look at my symbol, then it will be independently self-sustainable from a financial perspective. You will be able to live off of your symbol that you've created. But it has a cost. Someone else has to suffer for you to feel happy. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. If you feel a little bit more fulfilled in that way with your brand, someone else, as we just read, is attached to your symbol at the moment and it's fulfilling them at the moment, which creates suffering inside of them. If we put a chart next to this, we could see this more clearly. A green line upwards and a red line downwards. Someone wins, someone loses. Everyone can't win, you know. But then there is a perspective that everyone can win too, which is a different perspective, which is also fine. You know, I understand that too. I completely understand that too. It's a more healthy way of being, like on a surface level. Like that is more healthy to remember it that way. Like, okay, abundance is everywhere, you know, because it is everywhere as well. It's just another perspective. When we go deeper into it and analyze it, we come to the other things too, which we just talked about. But where were we? The search for security is actually an attachment to certainty, to the known. And the known is the prison of our past conditioning. Freedom from our past lies in the wisdom of uncertainty. Without uncertainty, life is just the repetition of outworn memories. There is no evolution in that. And when there is no evolution, there is stagnation, entropy, and decay. In ancient wisdom traditions, the solution to this dilemma lies in our willingness to detach from the known, step into the unknown, and surrender our desires to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. The unknown is the field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the creation of new manifestations through you, through your singularity point that you are. You are a creator, not a trader. This field, I mean, you can trade, that's also a way of creating, like, but over a trader, you're a creator, you know. That makes sense, right? This field can orchestrate an infinity of space-time events to bring about the outcome intended. But when our intention gets locked into a rigid mindset, it has to happen this way and that way, by this date, we lose the fluidity, flexibility, and creativity inherent in the field. Attachment to a specific outcome freezes our desire into a rigid framework, and this interferes with the whole process of creation. True wealth consciousness is the ability to have anything we want, anytime we want, with the least effort. Detachment is synonymous with wealth consciousness, because with detachment, there is freedom to create. How can we create when we're clinging and grasping and full of anxiety? We don't need to have a complete and rigid idea of what we'll be doing next week or next year. Because if we get rigidly attached to that idea, then we shut out a whole range of possibilities. The law of detachment does not interfere with goal setting, by the way. We still have the intention of going in a certain direction, but between point A and point B, there are infinite possibilities. You don't know how it will turn out. You can have an image. You can also change that image a little bit here and there all the time, contemplate on it. I'm sure when you arrived at a goal that you've set in the past and you've achieved it, it doesn't look or feel like you thought it would. That's how it's gonna feel all the time. So, with uncertainty factored in, we might change direction if we find a higher ideal, you know, or if we find something more exciting. I just said that. When we experience uncertainty, we are on the right path, and it's the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. You know, there is a saying that, you know, if someone gets asked like, something spiritual, like do you feel the spirituality, or do you feel the presence of the Holy Spirit or God, something in that direction? And they answer like, I don't know. Then they're fully into it, usually. Sometimes, like, do you know if you are? I don't know. Your mind is completely blank. Maybe you're in the bliss. Um, that could be the case sometimes. So you're not supposed to like be aware in those situations, anyways. It's the best when you don't have to think. Mm, when we experience uncertainty, we're on the right path. Yeah. So embrace that. How can you apply the law of detachment? Begin by practicing detached involvement. This means whenever you encounter a problem, you stay grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty, while expectantly waiting for a solution to emerge by itself. If you remain detached, you won't feel compelled to force solutions on problems. This enables you to stay alert to opportunities, and then what emerges is something powerful and exciting. The state of alert preparedness in the present meets with your goals and intentions and allows you to seize the opportunity within every problem you have in your life. Every problem is the seed of an opportunity for some greater benefit. Once you have this perception, a whole range of possibilities opens up, and this keeps the wonder and the excitement alive. Only by practicing detached involvement can you have joy and laughter. Then wealth is created spontaneously and effortlessly. The word universe means one song. Your every intention or heart's desire is like a melody in nature's symphony. All you have to do is sing your song. A Rumi poem says, I want to sing like birds sing, not worrying who listens or what they think. If you can sing your song with that attitude, you are participating in the law of detachment, and nothing will be able to stop the force of your intentions. Relinquish your attachment to the known, step into the unknown, and experience all the fun and mystery and magic of what may occur in the field of all possibilities. When your preparedness meets opportunity, a solution will spontaneously appear that benefits you and all those around you. What is commonly called good luck is nothing but preparedness and opportunity coming together. And the preparedness increases your luck, right? Because it's a game of probabilities. So the more you stay prepared, the cycle comes around, it hits your preparedness. Now it creates, um, opportunity. No, preparedness and opportunity come together. So opportunity is the cycle that is coming back. This is the perfect recipe for success. Yeah, and it is based on the laws, on the law of detachment. Yeah, really. Practice detached involvement, stay alert to the opportunity within every problem by letting go of your idea of how things should be. Accept uncertainty as an essential part of your experience. In your willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously appear. Remain open to all possibilities and enjoy every moment in the journey of your life. All the fun, mystery, and magic in the field of pure potentiality. That's bullish. So let's cycle off of the symbols thing we read about in this chapter. We read about the symbols as being something that is this we usually exchange. We attach our ego, that we create an identity out of the very thing we have in our hand, or our car, or our money. But let's say it's our money. And when our money reaches zero, because we're attached to it, we've created an attachment with our ego, which is our identity. Then when the money reaches zero, you are worth nothing. How fun is that? So we need to create a value that is worth something beyond the money. And how do we do that? We learn what money is, and we break it down to its most basic common denominator. We could say that it's energy, like everything else. Everything is the same. So there you have it. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in that sense. But the symbols, as I mentioned earlier, we had a discussion, Stu, me, Doc, Fab, were Casket there? I don't know, Giuliano in the Discord. And the symbols we were talking about there was from a completely other perspective, but it was about building a brand, any brand. Have anyone ever heard about IKEA or Volvo, or let's take anything? Robert Kiyosaki, that's a name. It's also a business and a brand, a personal brand. But IKEA is also a brand, and Volvo is also a brand. And let's take something, a computer company, Lenovo or MSI. Is that also? Yeah, something like HP. All of these things is symbols. Every single thing, even your account here on X is a symbol. You can amplify your presence and monetize any symbol because attention, time, energy, and attention of an individual is what creates cash flow to them if sustained for long enough. So attention is in these three. And if you grab enough attention from the energies around you, that's how the rich view you, your energy for them to use to become better and richer. They don't care about your health. They're going to stay where they are at all costs, you know, and it's fine. It's fine that it is that way because when we understand something higher, we just read about it, we accept it. Because going against it would be going against God himself, which isn't very smart, I would say. You will be crushed. you know? So, we have Brother Stu's and let's go. That's awesome. What's up, man?
Honestly, I was trying to write to it. I don't think I got the thought eloquently put enough. So I'm good. Keep going. Keep cooking. You're cooking.
That's awesome. You were trying to write at the same time? Like, write?
You triggered a thought, and I wanted to make sure I had that thought be comprehensible.
Hmm. Yeah, just interrupt at any time. It might come now when I'm talking. So, symbols of ourselves is not good for us to be attached to. And we mentioned earlier as well that if we build out this symbol, let's say my symbol, Edge, the Edge brand or the Hyperflow brand, it's all the same. It's the same as Volvo, IKEA, anything. If we amplify it for long enough and make enough people obsessed with our symbol, this is ancient knowledge. You know, it works today too, because existence is built up this way. Existence is tied together with attention. If you don't point your attention in a certain direction, does that stuff really exist? When you do point your attention in a certain direction, all of a sudden there seems to be extreme wealth there too. Let's take a concert, for example. That's a symbol. That's a symbol. You know, look at this. You know, a concert ticket, like from a very famous person today, could cost you and me like $2,500, which is crazy. But yeah, that's like it's like a little dog. Ah. But yeah, good stuff. Does anyone have any thoughts on symbols? Because I think I've made myself very clear. Like, even if you don't want or intend to build out your account as a symbol, you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you're almost making yourself your own idol, which is the thing you want to try to avoid doing. Which is why, for me, I try to behave in the assist others to create their own symbol because I figure I can help them go to hell. If that makes sense. Like, I'd rather help a whole bunch of other people become their own idols while I'm trying to find my alignment.
Oh, I think I remember my thought too. It's so every time you take an interruption or a quote needed break, it's your I guess stripping the where you're putting your power, the symbol that you're placing your power, and it's like restarting the engine every time.
Mm. Yeah, Edge, brother, I got a lot of stuff to say on symbols. I really do, but I can't right now. I have stuff to do. I'll be back here 11:15. If the space is still running, then I'll say my stuff on it. But yeah, it's the usual stuff that you expect me to say. Probably I'm talking to you, Ed. Yeah, you guessed it. The symbols and the occult. There's also a lot going on there. Symbols are very powerful. Some are created with intent, some are created without intent. They always have an intent. I do agree with that. Absolutely. Symbols do hold power. I just want to talk about how the big boys put even more power in it. Yes, things can be charged with energy. It's true. It is charged with energies, and those can then be collected. So I'll talk about that in a bit. I'll be right back.
I'm afraid we have 4 minutes left. That's the thing. So we gotta fill those 4 minutes with absolute
Four?
sauce. Yeah.
Um, but it might sound ridiculous if I say it too fast, but I'll give it a shot. No, it's just like, hey, when you look at certain symbols, right? Pay attention to the symbols within the symbols. Look at astrology. How many of the big companies are using signs that are referencing things from within astrology? Then again, understand the magical belief system behind astrology and how astrology is used as one of the occult magics to manipulate their reality. That's what they're doing. They're manipulating their reality with the occult. Of course, the larger scale you go in this, the bigger the impact will be. And of course, the best way to get a lot of attention is get a logo assigned to what you're really doing. The people in the general public don't know what you're really doing back there, but you are collecting their attention. You are collecting their energy, which can then be, I think siphoned is the right word. That energy can be siphoned in many ways. There's a righteous way to go about it, and then there's the other side of things. And just so you know, all the top companies, of course, they do the other stuff. Of course, they do. That's the price that they are willing to pay. To reach that level, you're going to have to pay a price that I don't know about. I haven't been in that position, but you pay a price. And yeah, symbols, pay more attention. Look within the symbols. Google, Chat GPT, there's something going on with that symbol. You duplicate it and then you invert it and then you layered it over each other, then it becomes a different symbol, and it's hidden in many things. There's many on the dollar bill. I think, yeah, I'll have to look it up. There's like one thing, if you fold it a certain way, it's just the face of a demon. I don't know what bill that was on, but there's symbols everywhere. I mean, the all-seeing eye. I mean, it's super obvious. You think that they're just having fun? You think this is just a joke? Oh, no, 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 buddy. There's real stuff going on there, and it's powerful. So yeah, that's the short version, I guess, Edge. I filled up 2 minutes and a half.
Yeah, I really want to be high and have this discussion, but I can't right now. But yo, really good stuff. And the thing is, like, how am I gonna learn all of this? Like, just do you one step at a time, and eventually you will have a map with information from atoms, molecules, us, humans, the above, whatever is above us. Then we have countries, planets, and then solar systems. All of the information we gather everywhere is applied on all planes. So it's fine. You don't have to study every single plane. If we want to understand the solar system better and how astrology works and stuff, I would definitely look into molecules and how those are structured as well, because I really think that planets is just, building pieces of these things, like molecular structured ways of looking. But up there. I think it's all the same. That's my personal view. No one says this, and people don't say this because of a reason, but it's there if we look, But no one talks about this. Everyone just goes to McDonald's and eats shit all the time. That's brain dead.
Yeah, Edge. I think I wanna agree on this, but yeah, if you zoom out enough, it will look like you zoomed in, and if you zoom in enough, it will look like you zoomed out. It's insane. Look at it. All you have to do is zoom in, zoom out, and oh, it looks the same. It looks the same. It all looks the same. It all is the same. So yeah, shout out to that, bro.
Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to Mr. Casket for dropping the absolute bombs here at the end. Uh, the handle on X to Mr. Casket is MR Casket X. And then we have my amazing co-host for today, which is Doc and Stu, and the handle on X for Doc is Doc on Chain X, and Stu's handle is Straw Hat Stu. Smash them a follow if you have time. You guys that are listening on the podcast on YouTube or Spotify, this has been an absolute pleasure. On the Edge of Greatness, episode 455. Shout out to King Boo Boo, V, Dix, Fab, DJ Bird, Digital X, Rex Dave for pulling up to this space today. Um, you know, what you sow is what you will eventually reap. That's the law. Like that's usually the law we end this space with. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction always. The future that you want, the vision that you so want, requires you to drop the one that you currently have first. But do it slowly, very slowly. Walk with truth, walk with power, and I will see you guys at the absolute top of the mountain. Absolute pleasure. Have a good one, and pineapple pizza is the best.